G'day folks, one of the most hotly requested videos on this channel has been the grand tour of the Wilderness Twin King motorhome, which we've had for the last 2 weeks, and it's been excellent. So some questions have come our way around what it's like traveling with a baby. Is it any good? Should we do it? All these questions have been coming thick and fast at us, so we're going to cover them all on this very special edition of Adventures with Nick, Emily and Gracie. Now let's do a little tour. So we're going to start with the outside. All these tours start with the outside, so if the outside's boring, just skip over it. But we'll start with a little bit of storage. So at the back here, we've got what they call the garage. It's a very giant area. At the moment, we've got our suitcases and our gear, and you can also access it from the other side. And you've got a whole bunch of storage stuff here. You've got a PowerPoint, which we use for Starlink. And this particular van came with deck chairs, table, snow chains, and a barbecue. So that was really, really handy. We used the barbecue a couple of times. And if we continue to move around, we've got enough gas for a couple of weeks, depending on how much gas you use. Now this gas is used for the hot water, it's used for the fridge, and it's used for the heating, and it's also used for the stove. This is the cassette for the toilet, so this needs to be emptied every couple of days, depending on how much you utilize the toilet and what your bowel habits are. This is the beautiful beast in all its glory here. I believe it's a 9-speed Fiat diesel motor. It goes very well. Now I don't want to quote, when we were doing research, somebody mentioned that this thing drives like a sports car, and I thought that was a bit of a stretch, and I still think it's a bit of a stretch, but it does actually drive quite nicely. So if you're worried about lack of power, it's not too bad for what you need. On this side, emptying your grey water. It's got obviously nice windows, fill up your water. So I think it's got a 120 litre tank and a 120 litre grey water tank, which will last you about 2 or 3 days, I think. And obviously you can access this from this side. Now if I just take you into the interior of the van, this has been our home for the last 2 weeks on the road. Up front you've got the captain and the co-pilot, and you've got a sound system, you've got all of your charging facilities. It does charge while the van is off, depending on what mode you're in. You've got a bunch of storage up here. We kept the drone up here and a few other bits and pieces here. Got a nice sky roof, so whether it's rain, hail or shine, you'll have the best view. And then obviously they keep your TV remotes, which I'll get to in a sec. Now we've got this configured. We had a 7-month-old on board with us, and we've just kept this down to protect her from the sun, but you obviously can get access to the sunshine if you need. And you've got a bench seat here, another seat here, and these actually swivel around, but we've got this configured with the car seat, as you can see. So that's the configuration you get if you opt for the child seat. Otherwise you'd have all of this space, and you can sit up to 5 people around that table. Let's move into the kitchen, where you've got all of the amenities you need to keep yourself satiated on the road. You'll see here, obviously, whoop, I didn't mean to show you that. We've got the cooking apparatus, so you've got a 3-burner stove, so you'd have a curry, a stir fry and a pasta going at the same time if you really wanted to. Up here, all of your utensils and cups and whatever else. What is great about this van is, because you know that we love pies on this channel, we've been able to get a couple of pies to go and reheat them in the oven. You've also got all of the other stuff. You'll see one thing you get is a lot of storage in this place, which you will need. And here's our fridge. Now I know that a lot of people judge other people on what the contents of their fridge looks like, so you're about to do that. And if we get some heat on the channel, I'm willing to take it. But obviously you've got a pretty sizable fridge, and even better, got a freezer. This was filled with ice cream as of this morning, but it got gobbled up. Here's all your electronics to manage the van. So what you'll see here is we are plugged into, this is on the car battery at the moment because we're not plugged in. When you're plugged in at the campsite, you'll see this go, and then you've got full power throughout the whole van. And then here you'll see battery has got 3/4 full. Our water tank is empty because we've had to return it empty. But you'll see that our grey water is also empty. So everything's empty at the moment because we're about to return it. and then you've got your heating and cooling. I won't go through that because it's a little bit complex, but this gives you heating, it gives you cooling. Actually, no, it doesn't give you cooling. It gives you heating, gives you hot water. That's the other thing. So you've got hot water. Here's your shower amenities. Obviously you're not going to be able to fit 3 or 4 people in for a shower party, just the one. But what's great about it is you can take this out and it comes out, so it's used for extra floor space when you're not using it. When you are using it, you've got all of this space, and the water heats up in about 30 to 40 minutes. So you've got to go back here and just turn on the hot water, and in 30 to 40 minutes you've got a piping hot shower. Up the back, a spacious bed. Currently this is configured in the Super King, but it actually can be configured in a single, and then you get this space here. But we needed the Super King for Bubs, but it's very, very spacious depending on the kind of activities you like to get up to in the bedroom. And obviously here's our bathroom, and this is come undone. But you've got a toilet facility to handle your ablution. You've got me in the mirror, and you've got plenty of space in here for all of your toiletries. Other things to note, plenty of skylights. You've got one here, you've got one here, another here, and then obviously the one at the front, so you get plenty of natural light, and you can open these up to let in some air. And you've got plenty of fly screens, which is this one, cover out all of the sand flies that will no doubt come after you. Another thing we've got is a TV, and we absolutely smashed a bit of cell in the OC. So you just pull this out and bang, it's plugged into the Chromecast, and we had Starlink hooked up. You can get the Wi-Fi option through Wilderness, and that'll give you all of the TV needs that you may require on a 2-week journey. Now the last thing to note is that this, which we didn't need, is actually another bed. You just bring this button across, and the bed comes down, and you've got another bed for another person. So if you need to sleep 2, 3, 4, if you're really squishy, you can absolutely do that. And yeah, this has been our motorhome for the last 2 weeks. It's been absolutely exceptional. We've loved it. We're a bit sad to say goodbye, but we're on to bigger and better things later today. If you're looking to travel with a Bubs, we were a little bit skeptical at the start, and we thought, you know, maybe we'll get sick of it after 3 or 4 days. But what we found was it's actually way easier to do this with a little one. And the reason is you can basically stop anywhere. New Zealand's very well set up to be able to travel with little ones, and obviously with the motorhomes, so pretty much wherever you go there's always somewhere to pull over, and you can just jump in, let them roll around, let them have fun, let them recharge the batteries, and away you go. So if you're thinking about getting a van, whether it's Wilderness or otherwise, highly recommend it. We had a great time. You'll get to see things that you won't otherwise see if you travel in another method. So that's been that. And we hope that this most comprehensive Wilderness King twin tour has been the best one on YouTube. We think it is. So give it a like, give it a subscribe, thumbs up, and away we go.